So, as I'm recording this video, it is Sunday, December 29th, which means 2024, which means that there's only 2 days of 2024 left in the year, and because of that, we're not going to receive any more characters in these 2 days on Legends. So that kind of got me wondering, what were the worst character releases this year on Legends? So specifically Legends Limited, because there's quite a few 1% Sparkings that were that got me thinking, what are the worst? We've gotten quite a few LFs this year, but the first 5 that came to mind, I'm gonna make a tier list. I'm gonna put them in order from 5 to 1, 5 being not the best, but also compared to everyone else, he's kind of better than everyone else. So yeah, let's get to it. Number 5 and number 4, they aren't exactly bad per se, but when you compare them to like everyone else that either release alongside them or everyone else that's competing in the meta, you kind of realize like, what was Toshi thinking exactly? You know what I mean? Number 5 list. This might be controversial, but this is my opinion. Honestly, it would go to Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Vegeta, the 1 and 2 fuse into Gogeta Blue. And mainly, the main reason I'm putting them in 5 is because they're not a bad character. They're a good character. They really are. But when you think about what they bring to the table, specifically Gogeta, what he brings to the table, it's kind of like it didn't really work out for them. They had a good Gogeta. He brought into the game the what's it called, bro? It's so bad I don't even remember what it's called. The Arts Chain Mechanic, I think that's what it's called.
Come get some.
On paper, that sounded good, where if you queue up all your strikes in the world, you don't even do anything in between the strikes, the sidestep, charge step, whatever the fuck. Just go balls to the wall, strikes, he negates, cover changes, unique gauge, counter gauge, whatever the fuck. It sounds good on paper. But then you realize, let's look here. Wait, in his passive, you realize that there is no cover null for him anywhere. Not in his green, nowhere in his passive, nowhere, not even on his unique gauge. Nowhere in there he gets cover null, which honestly that kind of just hurts him in his combos, because at that point you're kind of just forced to use all 4 of your strikes. That way you don't get your combo disrupted. But even then, the damage that your 4 strikes provided wasn't even enough to for you to even consider, oh yeah, I'm gonna use all my 4 strikes and that'll kill this motherfucker that I'm fighting. It's not really worth it. I would rather have a longer combo that would at least guarantee me probably a kill than just queuing up 4 strikes and doing some okay, decent damage. I'd prefer that. Honestly, I would say that the Goku and Vegeta character on their own is better than Gogeta Blue, because the way they would work between each other is when they would swap out, tag in and out, they would restore their vanish as well as get cover no from that. That's very cool. I like that. I never got them because I didn't really like them. I like Gogeta and I like Gogeta. He's a cool character, but Vegito is my favorite. But they're both cool characters. I just prefer Vegito more than Gogeta. But even then, whenever I would fight Goku and Vegeta on the game when they were initially released, they would kind of pose an issue to me most of the time. Gogeta does have the factor. Let's see, how much was it? Let me go back to Gogeta real quick. It's he gains extra damage reduction. He reduces impact damage received by 15% for 5 timer counts every single time he uses an arts. 15% is a lot. Use 2 cards and you already have 30% damage reduction for impact. And impact is essentially 98% of the game. That's very good. But I mean, that's one quirk that he gets for himself besides the arts chain mechanic. His unique gauge, he goes type neutral for 3 timer counts. He gets a green card, which I'm pretty sure locks you in. Let me see. Upon activation, on hit, draw 1 new card, inflicts all enemies with +3 sub count. You have that for him, but you need to land the green card in order for them to be locked in. Overall, Gogeta, he's good, but compared to everyone else, what he brings to the table, it's not quite to my liking, if you know what I mean. Moving on.
This is for everyone you've killed! Egghead murderer! Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
Next character, number 4. Again, I wouldn't say he is bad per se. He's just what he brings to the table, what he does,
And
compared to everyone else.
In all honesty,
It's not good enough to
it's the
be
biggest
good.
piece of
You know,
dog shit.
he's not bad, but he's not good enough. You know, like Goku's black. His damage, his stats, they aren't bad stats. Honestly, his damage output isn't bad either. It's just what he brings to the table. His tanking, his disrupt. It's just like, on paper, it sounded good, but the execution of it wasn't good, really. He did bring into the table the new buff, debuff, whatever you want to call it, where opponents cannot cover change or special cover change. They can cover change, but their special cover change that activates, if they have one, it just won't proc. It's like a better, worse version of a of covering all. I don't even know if it's better or worse because it's like weird. There hasn't really been a use for his cover null mechanic thing that he brought. You know what I mean? Because like, it's cover null for your character, but it isn't. Like, your whole team has cover null, but at the same time they don't. It's weird to explain, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's just cover null, but not. And like, it's only for 15 timer counts, which is weird. And also on top of that, I'm like 80% sure it's only activated once at the start of battle. And that's it. You never see that buff ever again. Let me look real quick. 50, 150, 70, -5. Battlefield, randomly draw a new card. Activation count, 70% damage. Reduce impact slice. Nullifies inferior element that inflicts all enemies with 20. Yup. Upon adding a striker blast, 30 damage. 30 key. Activates once. Cancels enemy buff effects, ultimate, shortens. Knocks enemy back to long range against their strikes, yup. RPG 0, yup. Activation, greatly charges your unique gauge. Oh yeah, his unique gauge too. It's the same thing as Super Baby 2, except Baby doesn't, or he doesn't reduce enemy vanish by 100% when it's maxed out. It's very similar to Baby's, the way it works as well, because you would need a activated blue card or a green card, I think, as well for Baby. I don't know if it's Baby's. It needs a green card. Anyways, except for Goku Black, since his is a melee based blue card, you can't just fucking raw dog the blue card and just full range that bitch like you would with Baby. Because you could just full range the blue card and you wouldn't put yourself exactly in a bad spot. You could still just vanish from it afterwards if your opponent goes for an attack right away. With Goku Black, you're basically just having to full range strike your blue card or mid range, close range, and you would probably still be left wide open with it. And you need to land that bitch too. With Baby, I think you just need to activate it. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Greatly charges your knee gauge. The following effects occur when your knee gauge is full. He restores his health by 20, which is nice. Restoring health by 20 is very good. Shorten ally sub count by 2. Nice. Destroy 2 enemy cards. Little nice disrupt with 50 key as well. Oh, shit, I'm stupid. No, but even then, inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing for 15 timer counts. That's the only time you could really use him. But in order for you to get that, you need the unique gauge to be procced. And then after that, you need to reset it. And in order to do so, you need to land a melee-based blue. Let me check real quick. Where is it? Resets on unique gauge and the following effects occur upon activation. Shit, I'm tripping. -30. Okay, yeah. So then that's still okay. So I'm tripping. It's not on hit, but even then, it's still, the point still stands of it being a melee-based blue card. You leave yourself wide open afterwards. It's kind of like, why is this a thing? You know what I mean? And then when he transforms, it's still the same thing. At least his green card is now a ranged green, but it is a long animation. So if you don't land that shit, you're fucked. You're just leaving yourself wide open, and your opponent gets a free hit on you. But if you do manage to land it, you restore your health by 10, and you get 15% sustained damage cut effects for 10 timer counts. 15% is fine. 10 timer counts, I feel like it's kind of short. I feel like it should have been like at least 15, maybe 20. I feel like 10 is like too short. I don't know. That's just like my own personal like niche. But I mean, whatever. And insurance adds up can by 2 if it's fully built up. The blue card, once the unique gauge is fully maxed out, 30% extra damage, minus 50% health restore. Whatever, it's whatever. His damage is good. Goku's damage is good. His tanking is solid, okay. But like the tech that he brings is just like kinda not the greatest. He doesn't have that good tech to help him like survive and shit. But the damage is good. Also, they even ended up giving him a fucking equip. Where is it? An equip specifically for him, right here. This thing is insane, honestly. 20% strike, 20% to all basic stats, plus 10% health restore and 20% special move. Oh, and also 15% pure strike and blast attack if there are 2 future battle members. That's a fucking insane plat equip. Not plat equip, gold equip, but regardless. It doesn't really answer what he needs for tech. It doesn't really solve this. He never needed extra defenses. He never needed extra attack. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still using this equip on him whenever I'm using Goku Black. But it's just he doesn't really have the tech for him to be a meta competent character, you know? But other than that, he's still decent, he's still okay, he's still usable. But compared to everyone else, he is probably the 4th worst character release of this year.
Do you see this hole behind me? That's going to be the size of each of your assholes when I'm done with you.
I don't know about these two, but my anus is off limits.
What the fuck, Goku? My anus is off limits too. Take one for the team, Trunks! Are you serious? Spread your cheeks now!
Moving on, we got the LF transforming Super Broly Super, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Why am I saying Super Broly? It's not the right character. It's the Z Broly. He was cool. This one, number 3, he's still usable. He's still good. But at the same time, like, he didn't really have an impact in the meta. There was if you had Red Zamasu Zenkai, that motherfucker, you didn't really have a reason to fucking put him or summon for this guy, because what Red Zamasu does, he kind of just does the same thing as this Red Broly character. They both had very good strike damage. They have pretty decent burst damage. Not burst damage. Yeah, it's burst damage. Yeah, and they're both red. You can just put them on powerful opponents. Future, you could just leader slot him into future, or you can just have Zamasu, which is literally just straight up future. And he already has a Zenkai buff built into him, so there's no real reason to summon for this Broly if you already have Red CMZ, which is a good, strong, powerful opponent character for a team. But he does have a few quirks with him that whenever he transforms into Legendary Super Broly, he restores his Vanish, he locks in your opponent, and you can actually deal damage with that shit as well. The last time we saw that was with Ultra UI, which at the time he couldn't do damage, but he did get a free ultimate from that shit. And Broly does the same thing. Except he doesn't get an ultimate. He just stops the coverage change, and you can just continue comboing afterwards. And it does damage in the process. But like, his damage was around the same as Zenkai CMZ. there was no real reason to summon for him. He wasn't like #1 character in the game when he released. He wasn't top 5. Nah, he wasn't top 5. He was like probably like around top 8. He was somewhere between top 10 to top 8, give or take, in my opinion. There was no real reason to summon for him. But yeah, he's okay. He was nothing. He wasn't bad. He was pretty squishy though. I'm pretty sure he was pretty squishy. I feel like I ran into him a couple times when he was released, and I feel like he was rather squishy. He had a lot of ways to restore health, like an ungodly amount of ways to restore health. But it doesn't matter if you can restore a shit ton of health when your opponent can just finish you in like one combo, in like 2, 3, 4 strikes. That's it. But yeah, his damage was okay. Tanking was not the greatest. Sustainability was pretty good. He did bring the quirk of nullifying cover changes, or just straight up not allowing you to cover change. So that's cool. But there was no real reason to summon for him. That's why I'm putting him at number 3. Now we have this shit ass of the character that everyone was expecting for, only to be not even fucking top 10 when he released. Oh, this motherfucker wasn't even top 10 when he released it. It's so unfortunate. I remember when like Anniversary was starting, people were like, oh, only one character can save Dragon Ball Legends. God Goku, save Dragon Ball Legends. Play some stupid shit like that. And then when he finally drops, not even top 10. He's not even top 10, bruh. Fuck, what did he even do? I don't even remember. I didn't summon for him because, I mean, his animations were pretty fucking cool. But, no, he didn't really appeal to me. Main ability, giving him a green card plus an ultimate, which on paper sounds good, especially with his green card being an AoE green that restores his health by 10, ki by 40, 15% damage inflicted. And if you actually land the green, you get an extra card. You restore your vanish by 60, and you get cover null. That's on paper seems really fucking annoying. It was, but then it wasn't again, kind of, because fucking Ultimate Gohan released alongside him, which was so stupid of a decision to make. Gohan was broken beyond release. That motherfucker was straight up top 3 characters in the game. This motherfucker, nada, nil, zilch, not even top. He was probably like top 15, but not even top 10 for an Anniversary LF character is actually insane. That's sad, bro. Pretty sad. 100% 10 damage, 110 damage inflicted, 70% damage reduction, 100% key recovery, level 1 card draw. Pretty standard. Showing up, 180, that's already 190. Minus 3 to strike and art, strike and blasts. For 10 timer counts. What? That's okay. He charges his unique gauge by 150% for 5 timer counts when he shows up. Another 150%, but that only activates 3 times. So that's 300% for 3 times. That's whatever. His unique gauge, I think, made him go type neutral. I'm not sure. Reduces impact and explode damage received by 10% for 5 timer counts. I mean, impact is pretty relevant in the meta. It's like 98% of the game, so that's fine. He takes type neutral damage, and he nullifies abnormal conditions for 10 timer counts, which only activates once. I don't know why they just give him once. You just either made it permanent or made it more than once. Or just not give him that in general. What the fuck is the point of this? He seals the enemy special arts. He seals enemy greens for 3 timer counts, which at the time, not many, I guess. If you're going up against Super 17 at the time, you could just seal the blue, seal the green, go for a blast, and you wouldn't have to. Yeah, I guess that's mainly it, but not really. When you use a strike, you restore vanish by 10 and ki by 5. That's whatever. When you land a strike or blast, you restore your advantage by 10. So you're restoring, technically, if you land a strike, you restore your advantage by 20, and honestly, but that only happens once. 30% strike and blast damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, and he gets cover null, which honestly, this one right here, when landing a strike, that one is actually a pretty decent combo, because it gives you the liberty of initiating the combo or a fight with your opponent without having you to waste the 5 timer counts of cover null if it were on upon activation. It's only on hit that you will get the cover null. That is very useful. I like that a lot. I like it when characters like that have it. They also gave him endurance. Just why not? It didn't really help him though. But yeah. Strike cover change. Destroy 2 cards when changing cover. Applies a final fix itself every time when facing an enemy. Reduce enemy key by 15. 10% strike and blast special move power by 10%. That's okay. It's okay, I guess. Charges unique gauge while characters on the battlefield. When his unique gauge is full, he gains 20 health. Cancels actual downgrades. Nullifies actual downgrades of normal conditions. Does he not go on type neutral? I could have sworn he goes type neutral. What? Sure, his ally sub count by the following effects occur when the unique gauge is full. Yeah, 20 health. Alright, resets own unique gauge to 0 and applies the following effects to self upon it. Okay, when he lands a strike or blast, when his unique gauge is full, he gains 1 new card, 30 key, 70% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. Level 1 card draw, so at that point he'll have level 2 card draw. And he has 5 timer counts of type neutral. Which is it's okay. It'd be better if it was like 10, 15. I mean, it has a cannot be cancelled right there, so that's useful. Most characters at that time had like buff cancellation. A lot of the characters had that upon activating a blue card, ultimate or rush. So it cannot be cancelled was a good thumbs up. But for 5 timer counts, that's just kind of laughably bad. He does nullify AoE greens, so that's cool. Normal strike, normal blast. Actually, no. -5 special move, but I mean, that's whatever. Greens, whatever. The blue card, 30% special move, and he goes type neutral for 5 timer counts. And it's okay. And then the... Oh shit. And the ultimate, 40% all damage, Supreme multiplier, endurance though, and sustained damage cut by 100%. 43 timer counts. On paper, he seemed good. He seemed like a very slippery guy. Being able to restore your advantage by 60% upon landing the green, as well as the 20% upon landing a strike or blast, and then 10% just by activating strike or blast. He seemed like a very slippery fellow. Very hard to catch, yeah. But then you realize his defensive stats weren't the greatest, I think, from what I remember. I don't have him, I can't check. I could check, but I'm too lazy to check. Fuck all of you, I don't care what you tell me in the comments, fuck off. And what didn't help him even more was that Ryuden fucking was able to get him to like, I think 9 stars on his initial summon video, and like on the showcase, he was 9 stars, but even then, he wasn't even impressed by what he was doing at 9 stars, which was just disappointing by him. And it's just funny because how many people were hoping for him to come to Legends, only for him to be kind of dog shit. There's still people out there using God Goku. Good for them. They're using the characters they like. But it's kind of sad, but also funny that he wasn't even top 10. And a lot of people were asking for him. But yeah, he's arguably the worst character. One of the second worst characters this year. Bro, no, it's not even arguably. He's just straight up just number 2. The worst character is straight up no. There is no arguing that. He's not worse. He's not bad. He's not number 1. That motherfucker is straight up dog shit. Genuinely, it pisses me off how bad he was. Let's go. Let's just. I think you all know who number 1 is. Need I say more?
Go your pouch. Rex in a quarter ounce. 2 accounts. Large amount.